Today, we're talking about The Will of the Many by James Islington. Or Islington? Islington? I don't know. To be fair, everyone has already talked and reviewed this book, but as this is my very first video, it felt appropriate to review The Will of the Many first, because this is the book that really got me out of my reading slump. I had trouble reading, finding interest in books, and got into doom scrolling, basically. And for once, that worked because Book Talk and BookTube were constantly talking about this book, and many actually compared it to The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, which is still until today one of my favorite books. So it felt only appropriate that I had to try it, and boy, I wasn't disappointed. So cutting straight to the chase, this book is a 5 out of 5 stars, no doubt. It's refreshing in its world building. It's got a great plot, great writing, with amazing pacing and amazing character development. That at least is what I think. And let's start maybe with the story first. So the story is about a young man trying to survive after the fall of his empire, after it was conquered by the Catenian Republic. So he's trying to survive in the aftermath of this Catenian society, where people cede their will to those higher in society than themselves. And it's that very will that's the fuel behind the power of the Catenian Republic. However, Vis, the main character, uh, his hate and will for revenge will never cede, and he will never accept to cede his will. He's actually actively trying to plot his revenge, basically. And by chance, he finds himself under the patronage of a high-ranking military official of the Republic who needs help infiltrating the academy. And the academy is an elite school where all the high-ranking members of the Catenian society are being trained. And when sent there, Vis tries to find some answers. Basically, he's being sent there to uh, solve a murder, to search for an ancient weapon, and to uncover secrets that actually may even tear the Republic apart. So imagine all of that in a fictional Roman setting or empire, with a truly ingenious magic system. And honestly, you kind of have a recipe for a page turner here. So the world building in The Will of the Many is heavily inspired by the structure of ancient Rome, and blends that structure together with some fantasy twists. So whenever I was reading about the world and the Catenian Republic, it really made me feel like I was walking through ancient Rome, visually seeing what I had seen on TV shows like Rome, or for those a little bit older, playing the Sierra game Caesar 3 on the computer. So that actually felt really refreshing to some more traditional fantasy that always seems inspired by mid-ages, medieval times, and stuff like that. So that was really refreshing and something new that really got me going in this book. And the unique magic system makes it even more refreshing and kind of reflects also the authoritative structure that the Roman Empire had. So the way it works is that the people in the Catenian Republic are forced in some way to cede half of their will to the person that's right above them in the hierarchy of the Republic, granting that person more energy or power. It's actually, so to speak, a literal transfer of a portion of their life force or mental strength, which then the recipient can use to enhance their abilities. They can also use that will or magic to infuse into objects and make them do certain things, like they can use a stylus or a stylus as a radar, or they can put energy in objects to make them move, or power something that would then resemble as a plane, as you can actually see on the cover of the book, of the second edition of the book. More about that later. But the entire system of will, or again, magic, is really used in a clever way through the entire book. And I'm really curious to see how it will develop further in the next installments. Now, About the characters to me are interesting, but to be fair, they're a little bit cliche at times. You can rapidly feel how the relationship between some characters and the main character will actually change and develop through the course of the book. But to be honest, that doesn't really take away one bit of the fun. You just enjoy the ride. Many have challenged that the main protagonist, this, has kind of a Mary Sue syndrome, or I think it's Gary Stu in for male protagonists. He kind of excels at everything, even though the author tries to make him fail or show that he's learning through failure. His learning abilities are really through the roof, to be fair. And again, for me, this wasn't an issue because I really loved Vis's journey. But I can understand that for some of the readers, it might be annoying to have like, yeah, a character kid that's really exceptional at everything. Now, the way Islington. Uh, Sorry to butcher the name. I don't know how you pronounce it. But the way he paces the book is to me really good. So I'm gonna call him James because I cannot pronounce his last name. So James takes some time to really let us learn about the Republic and understand how it works. We get to learn about his motivations rather, and only then the plot really starts. Now, if you have seen a lot of TikToks about this book, then they warn you that there is a major twist happening and that is quite insane from then on. Now, to be fair, there is a twist in the middle of the book, but if you're a veteran fantasy reader, it won't really surprise you that much. However, it is true that from then on, you kind of need to cancel all your plans and social life because you won't be able to put the book down anymore. It really becomes a true page turner, and I think I finished it almost in one sitting from there on. Now, not everything was perfect in this book. Like I said, this is kind of a Gary's too. But what bothered me most was a particular sequence in the book around the three-quarter mark. There's a sequence of about what, let's say 50 pages of something that to me was completely unnecessary. Or no, that's not the right way to describe it. It's something that, a passage that felt done and redone and overdone by other authors and other movies and books. It felt like the idea was, I don't want to use the word stolen, but like borrowed again from other books. And I don't want to spoil the book for you, but there's this entire sequence of, how to put it, like survivalism in the woods. Let's say it like that. That really put me off my reading, and I really didn't like that. And that's the one moment that I really had, yeah, put the book down for a moment and took a break. Um, just again because it feels like it's been done so many times before, and I do believe that the author, while the part is useful for some development of the story, could have found something more creative or another sequence of events to get those plot elements to us. But to be fair, it's only a small part of the book, and yeah, it's just a minor little hiccup in the book. Now, as you can see, I'm holding two different versions of the book. I'm not someone who collects different editions of the same book just for the sake of collecting them. However, I felt obligated to buy the second one as well because, as apparently from now, every next volume will be in this design and they will abandon this one, which has caused quite a stir on the internet again because which version do you like most? And you're a donkey if you like this one better, or for a donkey if you like this one better. Now, everyone has got their own taste, but yeah, I had to buy this one just because I would go crazy if in my bookshelf they wouldn't be perfectly, like the trilogy wouldn't be completely of the same design. But that's my own issue. Now, I personally prefer this one. I like the simple design of it. I like the Roman pillars on it. Um, I do understand that people say it's too generic and you don't really know what the book is about when you read this, when you take this one. And this one is super designy and fancy. Um, but I think I might have preferred it if they hadn't put like this flying kind of ship in the middle, which they power by will, by the way. Because it makes it look like sci-fi, which it's absolutely not. It's set in the Roman Empire, and so yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with that, and we'll see how the next ones will look like. I do think that the most beautiful version is still the broken binding version of this book. Unfortunately, it's above 300 euros here in Europe to buy it, which I do think is just too excessive for this book. Um, so yeah. So to conclude, if you like refreshing world building, if you like a really unique magic system, a plot with twists and some political scheming all fit together with some insane action sequences, well, then this book really is for you. And to give you an idea, I would gladly cede half of my will right now to read the second book right away. Now, the good news is that James Islington or Islington, whatever, is quite prolific. The second installment is already being reviewed by the editor, and he started writing the third one as we speak. So, thinking this would be a trilogy, we'll see the end of this one, unlike many other series that are ongoing. So, that's really good. Alrighty. So if you've already read this book, leave a comment below and share what you liked most about it or what you disliked about it. And if you've enjoyed this review, please give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more reviews in the future. That would truly help me, as this is the very, very first video of the channel. Have a lovely day, guys.